The fifth and final story in this anthology is Chloe's Chaos Kitchen, and it follows Chloe from Hyperforce. So of course it is written by Megan Camarena. As I said, it follows Chloe, but also Vesper, the black Hyperforce Ranger. They have seemingly like a cooking show, and they're basically going to be making a candy burrito, which is a burrito filled with candy. And Vesper's like, hey, where did you get the idea for this? Or where did you get this recipe? And Chloe takes them back to Angel Grove, where we see the Hyperforce Rangers fighting the pumpkin rapper. Do you remember how I just mentioned him because I was thinking about him because of how much the apple monster, Bob, looked like him, and I said how much I hated him. And I've also just done a Halloween episode of Power Rangers video about the pumpkin rapper and how I don't like him, and now he's showing up again. Why is he around to haunt me? Why is he here to haunt me? There was clearly a part during the Hyperforce run where they go back to 1993 and they fight the pumpkin rapper in Angel Grove, which, cool, that's awesome. They talk about it, and they talk about the fact that they then got that recipe from Angel Grove because the pumpkin rapper, it was Halloween and they went trick-or-treating and they got a lot of sweets. Incorrect. Vesper's like, that's not how I remember it happening. They do flash back to Angel Grove, but basically Vesper and Chloe were trick-or-treating the entire time whilst Eddie, Marv and Jack were fighting the pumpkin rapper. So they come to that realization and they come back to present time. Well, they're not actually time traveling, it's just a flashback. And they've made the candy burrito and they're about to take a bite when Alpha 55 barges in and is like, that is too much sugar, you cannot have that. And they're like, oh crap, we gotta run. So they run, they start eating the burrito, and they get high off the sugar and end up in a food coma, which, you know, I'm thinking is maybe 70% food coma. And I don't know, maybe like 30% LSD, maybe, I don't know. Alpha 55 says, aye, and that is where the story ends. And the comic, I have a lot of respect for Hyperforce, so I love this little story. It's definitely one of the more quirky ones. It doesn't take itself as seriously, which is good, which is fun. I like that we see them go back to Angel Grove, and even though as much as I hate him, the fight in the pumpkin rapper was cool. Putting Alpha 55 in there was awesome as well. That was a cool little throwback to the actual Hyperforce comics and show. And yeah, a fun finish to the issue. So that was my review of Chloe's Chaos Kitchen, the final installment in the Power Rangers Across the Morphing Grid anthology series. Now, I have videos on all other 4 parts of this anthology series, but this will also go in a compilation of every single review and a final roundup of my thoughts on the anthology series, which will be out tomorrow. And if you're watching this later on, then guess what? It's probably already out. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you then.